When I was really little, as far back as I can remember, I was sexually abused. So I just grew up thinking that was the norm.
You know, being involved in things I no way I would have participated in.
It was early evening when they played Most Dangerous Game.
I was stripped of my clothing. I was allowed to wear tennis shoes and told that I could have a head start and begin running before I would be hunted down. My exposure to it resulted in my believing I had no place to run and no place to hide. It seemed there were no limits to what could happen in my existence at that time.
Was the most extreme, one of the most extreme situations I think I ever survived.
Greetings and salutations. Mark Phillips and Kathy O'Brien have been through a lot. Kathy has had some extraordinary experiences in the mind control program, and Mark came along and pulled her out of the situation. So without further ado, if you will please give a warm round of applause to Mark Phillips and Kathy O'Brien.
When I was a really young child growing up in Muskegon, Michigan, this would be the early 60s. I was born in 1957. My father had been sexually abusing me as far back as I can remember. And he often bragged of substituting his penis for my mother's nipple while I was an infant. So my sexuality was heightened from a very, very early age. And I also developed what is known as dissociative identity disorder. It was formerly termed multiple personality disorder, but has since been redefined because it's not multiple personalities, but the shattering of a personality and a compartmentalization of memory, of trauma, too horrible to comprehend. Childhood sexual abuse is certainly too horrible to comprehend. There was no place for that in my mind. This compartmentalization of memory was what the government was interested in, because they figured that if a person couldn't think to bring to mind abuse, they wouldn't be able to think to bring to mind government secrets, government perversions, or anything else they wanted compartmentalized in the brain. My experience as a mind control slave on a White House Pentagon level was extreme. I was totally robotic. I had no capacity to think for myself. I didn't have any free thought whatsoever. I didn't even have the ability to question, to reason, or consciously comprehend what I was involved in.
Mark, how do you feel being in Arkansas right now?
Nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs.
Why is that?
It's place is dangerous, and I'm not too pleased with actually being here.
I don't know how many times we've been in situations where we weren't sure if we were going to make it through it.
I couldn't count.
I can't either. But this is definitely one of them. It's over the line.
One of the worst. Because when you start this process, this is what gets everybody killed, is the investigation process, and that's just not cool. We're in it, we're on the back of the tiger, and we can't get off. We've got to finish this. What we got here, Stephen, is somebody who's top world-class businessman in his own business arena. This guy's not somebody you want to mess with. Now, he's been threatened many, many times. He's gotten into a couple of gunfights. I strongly urge you to think very carefully about your questions. And don't attempt to try to fool him by putting him on camera, except maybe in a silhouette or something.
Would you like to know a couple of things?
I want to know everything.
If you're looking for validation in terms of what Mark and Kathy have laid on the table, hey, is it real? Yeah, it's real. And when you consider that you have members of the judiciary, law enforcement, high-level place business people, politicians involved, you understand what I'm just saying to you? It's people who shape how you see the world, tell you what's important, what's not important. If you choose to take a deep look at it and do your own research, fine. You'll find out for yourself. Hope you're fast on your feet, and hope you're capable of dodging bullets, because you might run into some. These are serious people.
Every time I turned the proverbial corner, Stephen, I ran into stuff that was just totally 100% outside of my realm of experience and hence believability. I mean,
I'm 22 years old. My vaginal muscle, it was cut. And then once that happened, where there was more movement with the muscle can actually protrude out the vaginal opening. And that was carved by somebody that was a very controlling person and was aware of the effects of trauma on the human mind.
They used an X-Acto knife to do that?
Yeah, it's a series of them. I didn't have any anesthesia, so I remember it very distinctly.
Is there a lot of bleeding?
It was so uncomfortable. I remember crawling into the bathroom and getting in the bathtub.
It seems to me like more of a ritualistic type of, a carving, and not just carving, but an actual face, something into there.
See the part that sticks out? There's a little, it's like a really long nose. And then right above it are two eyes. And there's a mouth that smiles underneath it.
Mostly what was done was what is considered outside of the vagina on the vulva. There were several incisions made, which made one flap of skin that looks like a nose, and slits were cut in to look like eyes, and even a mouth.
But after what you've been through, haven't you been through the worst of it, do you think?
Yeah. Well, I'm not afraid of anything except maybe not getting the word out, if that could be construed as a fear.
Yeah, that bothers.
And this word is getting out regardless. I mean, we've won. We won big.
This right here is dragon's breath. These are all armor-piercing, exploding shells. This thing would make an armored personnel carrier completely debilitated. You know, New York second, as they say.
And you keep it in your bedroom?
I keep it right beside my head, along with a 45 loaded with similar shells. Not that I'm paranoid, it's just that, you know, I'd like to squeeze one last one off if some idiot wants to come in here.
It was early evening when they played Most Dangerous Game.
I was stripped of my clothing. I was allowed to wear tennis shoes and told that I could have a head start and begin running before I would be hunted down. My exposure to it resulted in my belief.
So I just grew up thinking that was the norm.
You know, being involved in things I no way I ever would have participated in.
When I was really little, as far back as I can remember, I was sexually abused.